Hey guys, what's going on? Scrappy here, and today we have another VGC battle. This was an older battle that I had in the June International Challenge, and this was against a team that was kind of threatening. They had, Greninja, Dragonite, and Talonflame, which are some really threatening Pokemon, and also my opponent had the Heracross. Now, I wasn't sure if this was going to be a Scarfed Heracross or even a Mega Heracross. That would be really cool if it was Mega Heracross because I haven't really seen a Mega Heracross at all. It has an incredible attack stat, but its speed is not so great, so I was thinking maybe it would be a Tailwind supporting Talonflame, and then the Heracross would just go to town with its powerful stab. So without further ado, let's hop in straight into this match. Alright, so I'm going to be leading with my Scrafty and my Trevenant just to get the Intimidate off and to set up the Trick Room with the Fake Out. So my opponent's leading with the Heracross and the Talonflame, my bad, and I get the Intimidate off on both these Pokemon, which is really great. So all I'm going to do is go for the Fake Out onto the Heracross, but the Heracross is actually going to Mega Evolve, so I'm really impressed already and scared to see what this Heracross is going to do. So there's my Fake Out onto Heracross, doing a little bit of chip damage, and that Talonflame is just going to go for the Acrobatics. Now, Acrobatics is a move that gets more powerful when the Pokemon is not holding an item, but a Choice Banded Brave Bird would be way better than Acrobatics on the Talonflame. So I'm going to swap out my Scrafty and go into my Mawile just to get the second Intimidate off on both of these Pokemon, so I'm not really worried about them anymore, and so I can go for a Rock Slide to KO that Talonflame, because I know it doesn't have any items or anything like that. So I go for the Wilbus. The Heracross actually avoids it, which is unfortunate, but goes for the Pin Missile onto my Mawile. Now we see this is doing little to no damage, doing 4 damage for every Pin Missile, because Heracross gets the ability Skill Link when he Mega Evolves, so moves that hit 2 to 5 turns will always hit 5 turns, which is rather unfortunate. So now at -2, this Acrobatics is not going to be doing lots, but still probably going to take me out the next turn. So I'm going to have to harvest another Citrus Berry, which I do, so I know I can survive next turn with ease. So here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Mega Evolve straight off the bat and go for the Rock Slide, as I said, and I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp onto the Mega Heracross because I don't want to worry about it at all. So there's the Rock Slide. There is an Avoidance, which is rather unfortunate, but oh well. I still take out that Talonflame, so I do not have to worry about it with a critical hit. But the crit did not matter, seeing how Talonflame is rather frail. So there's my Will-O-Wisp onto Heracross. Not worried about it at all now at -2 and with a burn. It's going to go for that Pin Missile onto my Trevenant, and as we'll see, this is doing nothing. Gets the critical hit, which doesn't really matter because I'm still not worried about it at all. His attacks are doing nothing, as I said. And hopefully I can just harvest another Citrus Berry so I can go on to the next turn not having to worry about it at all either. But I do not harvest, which is a bit unfortunate. So in comes Dragonite. Not sure what to do with this. I'm just going to swap out my Mawile, go into my Scrafty, put that Heracross now at -3, and so I can fake out that Dragonite to break his multi-scale. So getting my Intimidate off, going for the Will-O-Wisp onto Dragonite, hoping that it's Weakness Policy, not Lumberry, but it is Lumberry, so there's its Lum getting rid of his burn. So the Pin Missile is going to go onto my Trevenant once again, doing no damage, and hopefully there are no crits, so I can live to see another day. So there are no critical hits. My Trevenant does live, but the Fire Punch is going to go off onto my Scrafty, which would have been my Mawile, not getting the burn. Even though it would not matter, seeing how I do have the Lumberry. So I'm going to harvest 1 Citrus Berry, which is really great. So I can just go on living more turns. So here's a Fake Out onto Dragonite, no Protects or anything like that, and I get my Will-O-Wisp off, so now I'm not worried about either of these Pokemon. They're both physical attackers. Heracross with a burn at -3, as I said, and now neutral Dragonite with -1 Dragonite with a burn. So not worried about any of these Pokemon. And I'm pretty sure I have this game. I don't want to be too overconfident and say then lose. and that would be horrible. So now the Dragonite actually flinches, so it's not going to be moving this turn, and I break its multi-scale, but the Twisted Dimensions return to normal, which is rather unfortunate. Here my opponent is going to swap out and go out into the Greninja. And here I actually swap out my own Scrafty and go out into my Rotom Heat. The Rock Blast actually goes down onto my Rotom, but as we see, doing little to no damage, even though it's super effective with all these Intimidates and Burns, they are going to do no damage. So here I set up the Trick Room. I know I can just Thunderbolt that Greninja, and I know I can take care of that Dragonite with a Thunderbolt and a Shadow Claw. So here I'm going to harvest another Citrus Berry, bring me up above half, so I know I can survive the next turns with ease. And here my opponent is just going to get frustrated and disconnect because he knows that he has lost. So that was a interesting game. The team was really, really good with things like Dragonite and Talonflame and Greninja. What I would say would give that Talonflame the Tailwind to support that slow Heracross, and maybe a Map Block Greninja or something like that. Item-wise for the Talonflame, not too sure. I've seen Charsey Berry being used a lot, and if you want to have Brave Bird, then there's no real point of giving it the Focus Sash. Either way, that was a really good game, and as always, thanks for watching.